afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another exciting Propagandacast with me, your host Imperial Dane, master of propaganda, hero of Reich, defender of the fatherland. We're off here to an exciting 1 vs 1 on Holotny Ferma. We shall be watching on the right hand side Porygon fighting here for the Wehrmacht for Reich. Fighting here for the 3rd Panzer Division, tasked with clearing out this Soviet element here forwards under the command of Ruffe. Fighting here for the 86th Rifle Corps with advanced warfare, counterattack tactics and guard mortar versus mechanized assault, close air support and Osttruppen. We've got tank bulletins here, Panther and Panzer IV versus actually a lot of infantry production bulletins. Now that's a bit more of an interesting development there, if anything. And a single T-35 bulletin there for increased veterancy gains. We've got 2 grenadiers there versus 2 conscripts here from Ruffer. Heading straight for the munitions point, interesting enough, whereas we got Porygon heading southwards and a bit more spread out pattern towards the south, going there for the fuel. But interesting to note, he's not going straight for the fuel, he's going straight for the munitions first of all things. And we also got a bit of barbed wire going up there. Also interesting to note there. Moved a bit too fast there, moved a bit too fast, Porygon. Ah, never mind. But there we go, denying cover to the fascist enemy. In this case, also by the looks of it, making a direct approach from this side towards here a bit more difficult overall, make it more difficult for Porygon's troops to maneuver about in the first place, which is also, you know, part of using razor wire. I mean, a lot of players just sort of tend to use it either to block off a path or just deny cover, but you can also use it actually just to make it harder for your opponent to maneuver around on the battlefield when he's attacking, which actually has some benefits as well. If, for example, it keeps them longer out in the open with no cover. So that's also something for you to consider while you are laying down razor wire. There we go, another layer of razor wire going down here. Bit of going down here. In this case, it's being used here by Porygon. In this case, just basically sort of block off path, which of course you can also use it for. And it's not, you shouldn't use it for it. I just, again, feel like there's more to barbed wire than just denying cover and, well, blocking paths. Well, we've got conditioning towards the center. We've got an MG40 here for Porygon. And then again, another sort of, well, breakwater-ish formation here. Again, no cover here, but also make it very difficult for the enemy to move about in the area. Conscripts here taking quite a few shots as they're running straight into the grenadiers. Rather rough there for Ruffer. And right here, the conscripts might get completely killed. Shoot! Damn it! Shoot! God damn it, he got away. It's all your fault, Dietrich. I didn't mean to. Right here, of course, this basically has the benefit of ensuring they can't just move through easily. Also ensures that basically any troops will have to move about longer. And that certainly also has some benefits there. But anyways, finding it to go straight for here. Very aggressive play from Porygon, but with his current unit composition and unit sizes overall, he might be risking his flanks. And there we go. We see here Ruffe is quick to take advantage of the fact that Porygon has gone very much in the offensive here. Straight for the jugular of Ruffe. And Ruffe is just basically going... and striking elsewhere. Of course, he's right here going to go for the cut-off form, which is also nicely done there by Porygon. We've also got a doctrine already for Ruffe. Guards mortar has been mobilized. We've got additional grenadier here. In fact, we've got 3, soon 4 there. We've got mines going up here behind enemy lines. Clever, fiendish, sinister, whatever you like to consider it. It's overall a pretty mean trick because usually, in terms of sort of blind spot, there's a very huge one for most players. That's called their own territory. So if you can do something where they aren't inside the territory and they aren't aware of it, you can usually do some pretty nasty stuff, like, for example, mines, demo charges, you name it. Of course, demo charges require you also to watch them, so they're not quite as effective as mines. A lot of them can really prove quite nasty in that way, so that's a little thing there to keep in mind. Of course, now we got Porygon basically all over the map there. His defensive maneuvers rather backfired on him. Now he's rushing back to try and capture everything he's else got. I mean, he's going to delay Ruffe here a bit, but that's about it really. Porygon could consider taking up right now. But overall he is struggling here versus Ruffe's troops. We've got the MG4 setting up, which of course in theory would leave him open to a fresh assault from here. It's overall a pretty rough situation there for Porygon. But looked initially good, has rather backfired on him. And right now his MG crew's right next to the mine. Ooh, dodged that one barely. Bunker up there. Flammenwerfer up here for the Pioniere. Nothing like that at all there for Ruffe. We've got Feeling Infirmary there to follow up on the Molotovs. And we've got close air support there. A Luftwaffe strong point has been assembled to support the advance of the 3rd Panzer Division. The question is, of course, how will Porygon utilise this? Of course, he could, you know, be tempted to just go for the redistribute resources, thus getting a lot of light machine guns early on. I mean, that is what some players like to do with his ability to quickly redistribute fuel from his nations, then use those to quickly get a lot of grenadiers upgraded with light machine guns, that way gaining a bit of an infantry advantage early on. Of course, you of course have to remind that's going to delay your teching, so it's a bit of a risky manoeuvre, and rather does to a certain extent depend on your opponent, you know, not going for regular armour, instead relying solely on doctrinal armour, otherwise you could very much get burnt that way. Another pusher for the centre. Concepts here, they're going to pop off a Molotov here, right, since, well, Porygon's troops basically bunched up. Oh, mine went off, almost getting the entire MU-42 crew. Rather harsh. No advance to the north, bit here in the south. Right there, nice flank. Oh, Concept flanking right. Pioneers retreating, actually. I think that was actually a misclick right there from Porygon. And then again, maybe not, as we got a huge assault here from Ruffe. Now with flamethrower in tow. We've also got support bomb company adding in some potential there for Ruffe if he wants to. Another Concept squad makes it off. They're alive. We got the first battle phase there. There we go. He can trade now for munitions. He might do so. There we go. All of a sudden, he can now heavily equip his Grenadier with leichtes Maschinengewehren. Conversely, we can also now see Guards Infantry arriving here for Ruffer or a heavy mortar. But no, instead he's getting the maximum machine gun there. Need to be careful, of course, what's going to using this. They're waiting there for the light machine guns. Some hiding down there, also getting a light machine gun. This is definitely going to get a bit heavily armed here rather swiftly. Pioneer and advancing. Molotov got response here, of course, to sort of basically deny them their only cover. In that regard, that is one of the advantages of the Molotovs. I mean, it's very much a weapon that can deny territory and deny cover to the opponent, which can then rather give the conscripts the advantage of basically finding an opponent who can't find cover, at least for a brief period of time. So there's a, in that regard, rather potent weapon. There you go. There's a firing up light machine guns. We've got more weapons here arriving for Deutschland. Maxim rolling up. Basically a weapon of the time of the SARS, when they actually had a fully footborne army, and that way they needed something to really make it more easy to carry, in which case he got those little wheels. So, little fun fact there. Water-cooled machine guns were in fact quite heavy. Also a fun fact, the Germans actually also used a Maxim of their own. They actually had it on a bipod. So, another little detail there for those curious. It was known as the MG8-15, I believe. We've got their conscripts down the run. MG-42s of all kinds, they're firing away. A flattening fusillade. And there we go, we got the Maxim machine gun there opening up on the gunner's advance. He'll probably try and get off rugby, in particular considering how close they are to each other here. And there we go. Just horrible casualties right there. In fact, the last man got cut down as well, leaving their heavy machine gun for the Germans to use. No light mechanized company. He could consider, again, fuel not really working out there. He might want to consider sort of making up for things with the fuel cache. That would certainly be beneficial, I think, for Porygon. Meanwhile, though, Ruffe taking onwards. And again, in that regard, this is where things are going to get a bit ugly for Porygon, because again, he just sort of lost a tech advantage there, or at least any sort of tech lead or inequality with his opponent again to get all that sort of increased firepower versus the infantry, which of course then gives Ruffe more time to sort of play out the advantages of the tanky battalion command rush, which is certainly increasingly getting more popular here with the Soviets, at least just to sort of rush in a T-70, so that way, you know, harass the Germans and later on add in whatever they actually feel like. We got a half-check down the way, the Mittlere Schützenpanzerwagen. Apparently alongside the name change there for the German Schützen to Panzergrenadier, the Schützenpanzerwagen was apparently ultimately called a Grenadierwagen, but apparently it never really caught on. And it's not really something you see mentioned a lot, just occasionally here and there in someone's memoirs, but nothing beyond that actually. So it's a little fun fact here, a little fun fact. But there we go, 251 out. Flamethrowers dealing with the Grenadier, troops run off, you got a nice, massive push there. North also seeing a bit of action here. Overall, I mean, despite all the preparation here, none of the fighting really has sort of made it really, you know, there for Porygon. But now he's really sort of on the offensive here. Again, apart from fuels, he should get a fuel cache up, sort of help make up for the fuel losses himself has suffered. But also that redistribute resources and then sort of quickly take up. A pack 40 is going to be necessary, but he's not got that. And his opponent is soon to get a T70 there, so Ruffe will be punishing Porygon in a very short amount of time. And there you go, T70 light tank arrived. Also the last light tank the Soviets sort of really used, they rather rapidly there during the Second World War basically scrapped the concept and just basically went over to T-34-76s, reconnaissance and the likes. Of course they'd still be used those that had been produced, but overall they basically ceased production of them. So little fun facts there, little fun facts. Pioneers need to fall back. He could try using incendiary armor piercing rounds here to sort of at least sort of force it to be cautious, but looks like that's not the case. Also, not even a single teller mine here, so maybe, you know, draw it into us in that regard. Porygon strategy has been a bit reckless, if you will. The half-track, of course, allows him sort of more offensive push, but of course allowing him to not have to retreat to reinforce, which of course is quite a handy ability to have. Meanwhile, though, he's taking away most of the territory, but that T-70 is very much a problem waiting to explode into the face of Porygon and just basically cause massive casualties. He does finally get an anti-tank up here to the frontage. Got a maximum covering here, but that's also very much on its own. Rather seriously risky play there by Porygon. And there you go, T-70 getting to the Grenadier. He's going to get off a Panzerfaust, a bit self-risky. If he didn't, he'd probably have them hunted down on retreat, so it's a bit, you know, damned if you do, damned if you don't. And in this case, he was very close to losing the entire Grenadier unit. Maximum dealing with the conscript, quickly rush up there. Put the Molotov there as well. That's going to force Porygon to retreat from there if he remembers. Looks like he's not. Oh dear. Bit of a waste there on Maximum crew. And then before to continue to fight from there. Porygon taking on, and we got some guards infantry running here for Ruffer. Quickly, comrades, let's show them how we proper soldiers do it. And there you go, the Maximum taking the name of the motherland. Flamethrowers here fighting up with the Pioneers, so the Victory 2 will probably have the advantage due to combat bonuses. We've got the half-track joining in as well there with its own machine guns. He could, by the way, consider upgrading with a flame projector, since it doesn't really look like he's using it for transporting troops around, in which case the flame projector, of course, would further punish Ruffe's infantry with righteous fire. We'll finally get some telemines up, though. That's good. Telemines here would also be beneficial. But he should probably get that support co-op as soon as possible, or he could consider going for the third battle phase. Either way, though, he should probably strongly consider getting up some fuel caches. I mean, really, I definitely think that's something that would greatly benefit Porygon at the moment, though, of course, Ruffe could also strongly benefit from it. I mean, neither side would be worse off with a fuel cache, that's for sure. T-78 could also do with some light repairs. That engine has seen better days. So we got Pack 40 and half-track covering the centre. Conscripts sneaking about on their horizon. Maxim's moving up. Quick rifle grenade here. And there we go, finally got some action here and again. There's very little cover to know for the Grenadiers here. So of course that rifle grenade was really the only chance of really sort of making things up. And there we go, Molotov, making things further miserable here. Interesting enough, he did not upgrade his guardsman with DPs, he should probably consider that. Further finding out the T-70 moving up, Pack 40 here ready to deal with anything though, if you can see it. Large action down here, heavy casualties there. Oh, Ruffe finally lost the infantry squad, that's going to hurt. T-70 keeps up the excellent pressure here versus Porygon's troops. Just plinking away with that 45mm gun. No support, of course, so far from Porygon, or tech up, I think, for a heavy panzer core. And no fuel caches either. Which, again, would be strongly recommendable, I feel. In particular, he's aiming for the heavy Panzer Corps. I mean, he's got the bulletins, though I would not recommend the speed one, you know, again, like the Panzer IV. The veterans ones are generally always the best for the tanks. Use the Pack 4 here to knock out the building. There's the, oh, nasty hit there from the T-70 Quincy squad. There we go, squad entirely wiped. I mean, overall, note the way that Ruffe is using. He's not using it sort of just bash through, you know, where this enemy is strong. He's using sort of hit here and there. Units on the far flanks are perfect prey for the T-70 to sort of quick get a wipe here and there. In that regard, you know, Ruffe is using it excellently. He's not taking any massive chances, although it was a bit risky up here, but overall, good usage of the T-70, bleeding out Porygon slowly. It's time actually for the mid-game analysis here. Concentration, Ruffe had a slight dark moment, but he's sort of really getting back into this game again. The T-70 is proving to be a massive problem for Porygon. He's having a hard time dealing with it. He's only got a single Pack 40, and that rather requires somehow baited or somehow captured in. He's got some telemines down, but overall, versus a T-70, you'll probably want more to sort of cover most major paths to sort of try and draw it into or bait it into. He's finally got the support armor co-op. You'll likely be getting a Panzer IV at first. That's good. Fuel cache that should be strongly considered by Porygon to sort of add some further fuel to his coffers. He could then in a second Panzer IV, maybe a Stroop to sort of support it. Of course, he could then get further fuel caches, then maybe begin aiming for a Panther in the longer run. That could work out there as well for Porygon. Otherwise, you should probably, you know, try to sort of hit here more and there. But again, telemines, try to bait the T-70 into it, or get some Panzer grenadiers with Panther-X. That could also be an option. The Stuka's anti-tank strafe is, I mean, he'd have to be, you know, pretty lucky with it and have to bet on Ruffe, you know, not paying attention. For Ruffe, the situation is pretty good. He should probably consider getting up heavy mortar to sort of deal with the strong point here, which basically Porygon's got. That's really, you know, where he could do a lot of damage with it. Or simply popping down a smoke screen and then charge straight through it with the T-70, catch the Pack 40 that way and knock it out. That could also work quite easily. I mean, in that regard, a heavy mortar would certainly be a good sort of method for dealing with Porygon's current stance, which is a bit more the defensive, holding out for tanks stance. Of course, he could, you know, get some fuel cache himself to sort of help with the T-30-35, so he could go for the T-34-76, get in some more armor right now versus Porygon, which could certainly further hurt Porygon. So there's definitely a lot of options there for Ruffe to consider in this battle. Though again, fuel caches are always a plus, and I definitely feel for Porygon, the situation requires a fuel cache, maybe two. Again, while it did give him a bit of an early advantage, a bit of a chance to sort of push back at the same time, tech-wise, it did put him notably behind. And it's rather that he's going to have to fight with right now versus Ruffe. But let's return to the fight, to the battle. He's trying to sort of suss it out with the Pack 40. But not quite getting it. He's got moving to the centre, right in front of the Maxim. Nice ensconce within the building. We got, there we go, he called in a heavy mortar, the 120mm. Cleared out the barbed wire there with the T-70, that's about really what he did. Half-tech about here, needs to get the grenadiers back. He could move up the half-tech barbed wire to just sort of allow them to escape into it. That could work. Though a bit of a risky maneuver there, if anything. There we go, might lose the grenadiers, needs to retreat. Ah! Porygon... I can't say that was worth the risk. That seemed a bit, you know, senseless. And there you go again. Ruffe's T-70 quickly punished. Constantly got there, of course, with the Molotovs again. The precision here, while nice sort of dealing with here. At the same time, it does open up for quick Molotov. They've got here the Ruffer striking in. Quick Stuka there with a bit of strafing. Gaining off a hit or two. Pack 14, there you go. Pack 40 got hit, then T-70 forcing it back. Might get off another hit. Ah, missed. Panzerkampfwagen on the way here for the 3rd Panzer. Half-tech taking notable damage. Pioneers flanking up there. Might clear out the Maxim. There we go. Closing in on veterans in fleet. There we go. Achtung! Again, the Grenadiers here needs to up the Pack 40 to help deal with it. He needs to get up in a better position. Of course, there's the heavy mortar making anything much more difficult. In particular, since it's so close, it's overall more accurate. Pioneers trying to deal with the heavy mortar crew. Losing territory down south. We've got Grenadiers moving to deal with that, though. A Ruffe grenade would actually be pretty good. But looks like already here Ruffe is reacting. Almost 52 on that T-70. Ah, he's finally upgraded it. finally upgraded those guardsmen and the DPs, adding in some more firepower, but Porygon's situation in terms of manpower is a bit behind Ruffe. Of course, he's going to have the armor advantage now here with the Panzer IV. Panzerkampfwagen 4. Achtung! Backbone of the Third Reichspanzerwaffe. There you go. A bit risky here again, moving up from negative cover there. He might want to attack from the north, at least pop down some smoke here on this side. Either way, they're getting caught here. You got the MD-42. Note here, by the way, sort of how he's keeping it right now is overall not too bad. It's close to the front line, but basically shielded, so he can provide reinforcements to the troops without taking shots from say, the guardsman. Guardsman lost his life and a PTRS. Pack 40 there, blasting away, conscripts being held down. The Panzer IV striking forwards like a vengeful demigod. Hunting them down. Might want to try and get that T-70. Bit risky, of course. I mean, he's basically heading into the den of the line. But if you get it to work, you can actually get off some good damage there. Again, it's a bit risky, And there we go, T-70 gets off a shot. Veteran T2. Panzer IV misses, and in this case looks like Porygon is not looking to sort of further risk it. You also got a fleet when they're arriving, so some serious anti-tank weaponry arriving to support the Soviet forces. MD-42, by the way, very close to Veteran 3 and thus increased lethality. Still no consideration of a fuel cache there for Porygon. Panzer Grenadier could also be an idea. It's down to just 2 Grenadier squads, 1 MD-42, 1 Pioneer. He might be putting a bit too much pressure on that 1 Panzer and what little infantry he's got now. Sadly, no upgrade there for the Panzer. Not really a good position for the Panzer IV. It should be more sort of behind the troops in more reactive situation. We can sort of react to what's going on rather than here where it can easily sort of be sussed out and again being blasted at. Plus, of course, the way it is, I mean, he just needs to strike elsewhere, but then the Panzer IV isn't going to be of much use. And there you go, in fact, got the T-70 striking south, Veteran 2, very now lethal to infantry. You need something built? Oh, got him. He'll land 24 kills on those Pioneers. Yeah. Wir Pionieren die besten Welt. Or something like that anyways. But Christ almighty, I have to say, it's pretty rare to see Pioneers with that kind of kill count. Pretty damn rare. That does say something about Porygon's usage of the Pioneers, I would say. I mean, again, most players would rather get them killed in horrible, unspeakable manners, but apparently not Porygon. Again, it also is a bit about, you know, how useful the flamethrower upgrade is as well. Bit of action down south. The Guardsmen up north, not exactly having the best day. Panzer IV, though, heavily damaged the field gun there, proving ever potent. And we've got a Sturmgeschütz now running for Porygon. Adding a bit of firepower that way. Troops need reinforcement. Conscripts there with the Pilford light machine gun. Panzer IV dying. By the way, additional Pioneers repairs. That's good, by the way. Though he's using it. Never mind then. Another strike here from the Luftwaffe, saving the day up here for the Grenadiers. Almost got the conscripts in the process, by the way. Almost. Pioneer maximum. They need to be careful. Looks like he managed to re-secure it though. By the way. But right here in front of Veteran 3 conscripts with a light machine gun and of course Molotovs. Sturmgeschütz moving in, Pentiment machine gun on the way. Got a second pack 40 as well. Porygon clearly a bit worried now about enemy armor. Of course with the heavy mortar and the Guards infantry, he knows he's phasing off against Guards mortar. So of course that is quite a bit of a worry there. Careful with the Sturmgeschütz. It's an assault gun, not a Panzer. Guardsmen there coming under fire. Panzer moving ahead, Veteran to 1. Right to a field gun, another excellent hit in the T-70. But again, another nice hit there from the field gun. Misses. We got Mark vehicle up there. Looks like the Pioneers wiped some poor bastard down south. Panzer rapidly rolling back for repairs. Sturmgeschütz needs to pull back up here, I'd say. Or there. Either way, just not quite as exposed. They can't take a lot of hits. Ultimately, needs to up the maximum to cover some point. He could, for example, consider staying up in the building here or around here-ish. A good response there, killing the Panzer down to the both Pioneer units. They're working away. More Grenadiers, but no Panzer Grenadier. And there you go. Veteran fleet on the MG42 crew, but not entirely sure I'm happy about that positioning. Aircraft shot down, crashing into the trees. No survivors. Looks like, there we go, grenade on the MG42. And he lost the entire veterancy for the MG42 crew. A horrible loss. In fact, leaving the centre of the street, needs to pull back down here to support it. It should have been down here, not behind the church. Panzer IV needs to rush up. This is quickly turning up here. He could lose the pack. 2. Ruffe, we got this Luftwaffe being called in. He's forced to trade in fuel, further limiting his armoured choices. 1 pack crew dead. This is quickly turning terrible here for Porygon, or at least deteriorating rapidly. Those Consuls definitely getting off some good kills here. Panzer IV very close to Veteran 2, by the way, I believe. There we go. It was getting hit there by the enemy field gun. Moving up here to flank. Shots fired, missed. Round grenades going off. There we go. Almost got it. Veterans 1 there. Panzer IV with Schützen up. There we go. Got the field gun crew. Grenadiers wide. That heavy mortar is absolutely poisonous here to Porygon's troops, in particular, again, due to basically the short distance. It's going to be more accurate. That's, of course, one thing to remember about artillery. The shorter the distance is between it and the target, I mean, you can see the target, it's not in the fog of war, but actually within view of your troops, it becomes more accurate when auto-flying. So there's a little detail there to keep in mind. And that's overall making things rather painful here for Porygon as well, since he's fighting straight up against it. Run tank takes, outmaneuver this here and sort of, decide maybe I should try fighting elsewhere. Pioneers taking horrifying casualties here as they're repairing. The Panzer IV getting a fresh coat of blood, which I'm pretty sure it wasn't intending to get. Panzer IV advancing. Down to half health here at this distance. The Veteran 2 bonus there won't do so much for it, since, of course, remember, the closer you are to a vehicle, the higher, well, anything with armor-piercing weapons, the higher the penetration goes up. Pushing out again there with the Panzer IV, taking another hit. Lost the second pack, not entirely sure was moving up that close, actually. Might have been a misclick there, though, from Porygon, I guess. T7 again, sneak up there, nothing to cover that angle. This is horrible for Porygon. Stu, by the way, not pulled back to repairs. It's forgotten about in the north. Need to get that pack 40 back. And the MG42's forced to retreat instead of just relocating in the center here. Looks like once more the Luftwaffe has to save the day here for the 3rd Panzer. Quick strafing run temporarily breaks down the infantry advance. And there's more heavy rounds go down. And there you go, Garton sneaking into the north, Panzer will keep moving up. 2nd anti-tank gun lost, to be obviously one pilfered there by the Soviet army. Might see the half-track down. T-70 rapidly fighting through the thin armor. There you go. Half-track lost. Veterans who for the end of T-70, 19 kills. Grenadiers almost like the Guardian using veterans as well. It's a bad situation here for Porygon. And the Maxim here also in a bad spot. Not much left here for Porygon to really resist the Soviet foe with. And looks like Ruffe is just moments away from getting a pair of T-3045s. Having made absolutely excellent use of the T-70, and Porygon basically having an extremely hard time dealing with it.
Ready. We have a fresh grenadier squad.
There are no cowards here. Awaiting command.
Our enemy has only 200 points. We have a new T-34 standing by. The sector is at risk.
There we go. T-35 is mobilised to support the Rifle Corps. Got the Panzer IV Stug up here. Heavy mortar fire going in. Pioneers holding up the building. Not entirely sure what he's doing here with the Stug. He needs to be a bit careful with it. T-35 are blasting away. Pat 40 here ready. Heavy mortar supporting. Field gun ready as well to support if necessary. Looks like Porygon's basically shifting everything towards the north now, abandoning the south in the process. Not entirely sure what the process is in that. And there we go. 2 seconds. It was all it took to take down that Stug there, which for some reason was from 4 might be a misclick. Either way, not good. Got an anti-tank strafe there going in. Kanonen Vogel unleashed. But most of the shots hit the house. Bit of damage on the T-35, but there we go. Game over. A total collapse of the 3rd Panzer Division as its few panzers and assault guns were completely smashed apart by the hammer and sickle of the Soviet forces. So a bit of a shorter match there with close air support versus Guards motor. Some interesting play there from both sides. Again, sort of proving, that, you can do quite well as a Soviet without having to sort of play for the late game call-ins. A quick T7, for example, can do a lot to frustrate and keep your opponent down again. 20 kills there, definitely nothing too bad there. Porygon, I feel, made a few sort of tactical strategic mistakes here and there, which rather cost him. I definitely feel like he would have benefited from fuel caches. Of course, he could have gone for this instead of maybe this. Would have worked, maybe. I think could have gone a bit of sort of edge up there versus Ruffe as well. He might have forced his hand towards going for something a bit further here instead of waiting for T-3045. So that could very well have been a good option there for Porygon to consider. But overall, I think the issues were more sort of the tactical ones. Again, fuel caches would have been great though. A few more mines here and there would also have been great because overall, it was just basically sort of prevent a head-on rush, but nothing sort of, really limit them in ability of T-70. One telemark getting out the T-70 would have been all worth it and could probably turn the tide completely as well in his favour. So there are a few considerations there for Ruffer. Again, got used to T-70. A bit risky to play for the T-35s just then. Though in the end, he was able to sort of, turn it into his favour rather fully and rather nicely. So there you go. I hope you enjoyed this match. I hope you learned something from it. I hope it gave some ideas for matches, what to do, what not to do. If it did, why not subscribe, tell your friends, share it with everyone. If not, send in a replay and provide some feedback in the comment section. This is Imperial 18. Cheers and thank you for watching. And see you all tomorrow. Bye.